How we doing, everybody? This is Let's Be Real Brad, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Last Dance. Last Dance is a new ESPN miniseries. It was directed by Jason Hare. This is based on The Last Dance, which was basically about Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Steve Kerr, all the Bulls Dynasty coming back together for one last season, knowing this was going to be the last season and this whole thing was going to be dismantled, and how they were going to try to win a championship with a bunch of drama, injuries, to eventually play against Karl Malone, John Stockton in the NBA Finals. Right off the bat, I absolutely adore this documentary, and I think this works because it is a true basketball fans documentary. To me, this is going to feel more as a bias because I absolutely love NBA. I love basketball. Seeing Michael Jordan be one of the best players of all time, seeing this Bulls team going through the history, going through the dynasties, I thought it was so incredibly well done and super informational. Michael Jordan gets interviewed a lot in this, which I thought was really great, and he definitely stays himself throughout the whole thing, talking trash to Gary Payton, Isaiah Thomas. I enjoyed how they went through many of the key players on this Bulls dynasty, and you got the whole gang there, and I thought that was so interesting. We actually get to see some of their backstory that a lot of times is always focused on Jordan, his backstory, and going through college, making the NBA, but we never really get anybody else's, so I thought that was a great dynamic, and it really worked in this nice backstory for many fans that already know about the Bulls squad, that actually got way more newer information, or even some newer fans that don't know anything about this amazing Bulls dynasty in the 90s. What helps this documentary the most is that it is so entertaining. The fact that the montage scenes or when they're playing the games, it is so much fun. It feels like I'm watching the game for the first time. Editing and the shot placement of where they're putting all these scenes in here is incredible. It is compacted down in such a nice way. You're getting all the best highlights of the game. You really are on edge because you don't know who's going to win. You know that they're going to the NBA Finals, and you know they're going to win. You don't know what's going to happen in that individual game. You really do tease that a lot if you're not familiar with those particular games. I think the format was an excellent choice of doing a 10-part miniseries where they were doing 2 episodes a night. So the first Sunday night at 9 o'clock was episode 1, and episode 2 followed right after. Same thing following the other Sundays. Because if this was just made for basketball fans, I think it wouldn't have been as great of a documentary just following The Last Dance itself. I think you need all this backstory, because this was more about the Bulls dynasty and the Bulls players. It was about The Last Dance, and we always kind of got into the future and forward and seeing what was happening with that. But when you get the backstory little by little, it brings more context. It brings more of a nuance and more of an Avengers Endgame kind of feel to this Last Dance of, okay, this is it. This is all we got to do. We got to win this thing, because after this, it's over. None of us are coming back. Editing is the top of notch. Really, really great. The fact that they edited all these interviews together that are just completely seamless. All the basketball playing scenes are absolutely great, and they always feel dominant and in-your-face excitement. The way they edited the music choices together were also great. Music choices were awesome. I loved how they actually used so many great and classic hip-hop songs, but the hip-hop always changes. What I thought was really interesting that they try to pick it for the year, because sometimes I've noticed in some documentaries that they'll put a music from that era, but not exactly that same year. So if they were using a bunch of hip-hop songs, they were getting it from that year, 1991, 1992, and you can see the change in hip-hop throughout the time with Jordan. And I thought that was such a little creative touch that they used that they don't ever really show or make a big deal about, but it was something I personally noticed. I thought that was a really nice touch to the documentary. When this ended, I was genuinely upset. I was like, wow, I could watch another documentary, but this just wasn't as entertaining, fun, and so drama-filled that I don't think I could find on really any other sports documentary. No one truly looks like a good guy in any part of it. You get different sides of everybody, which I really enjoy. Everyone's fleshed out. Michael Jordan can look like a jerk sometimes, but he can also look like a leader, a guy who just wants to win, and that's all he cares about. And sometimes he doesn't always take the correct measures of doing that. But when you look at his stats, when you look at his success and all his accomplishments, did those things pay off? And that's kind of the moral, having all these players come back and talk about and reminiscing about the past, and you can see that some of their thoughts have kind of changed from when they were playing until now, and they're realizing, hey, maybe Jordan was right, or, oh no, maybe Michael was still a jerk. There was a criticism that I did have was with not showing Jordan's family at all. They do show up for like a tiny bit. Kind of wish that we got more of a backstory of Jordan's life back home. The director did make comments that he felt as though he had enough storytellers, as he said, and enough people to really make the story great as what it is. And I think it would have been an interesting topic, but also I think it would have been very derivative of what the story is trying to tell. I recommend this documentary miniseries to anyone who loves sports, especially NBA fans. You have to watch. If you haven't watched it right now, are you even a true NBA fan? Like, come on, seriously. It's enjoyable. It's extremely fast-paced. It's layered all throughout. It was such a nice and lovable documentary that I think is a masterpiece. I'm going to give this film a 10. Yes, I'm giving this miniseries a 10. I think it was everything that I could have wanted and more. If you guys have seen it, let me know down below. What did you guys see of the miniseries? What are some of your favorite basketball teams of all time, even sports teams? Or what are some documentaries that you think they should be making? Let me know down below. Please like and share the video. Please subscribe. It really helps out the channel. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button and the bell notification on the bottom, please hit that as well. It would really help out the channel. Thank you guys for watching as always. I seriously appreciate it. And I'll see you guys for my next video.